Alright, hey everybody. Welcome back to another demo derby. Obviously, this is a game called Norco. Um, I didn't mention this yesterday, but all of these demos are from the big adventure event, the BAE, which is going on Steam right now. Actually, I think today is the last day, so uh, time's running out if you want to check out some of these demos. So there's a lot that I haven't played. I think it says there's over 100 demos. There are some that I featured in previous demo derbies, games that haven't come out yet. Actually, the game I played yesterday has come out pretty recently, within the last few days, I think. But so if you like that, you can buy it now. Play it all the way through. So anyway, let's check out Norco. Norco, Louisiana. Shield hid the stars behind halogen and flame projected into the sky every night. Oh, auto continue on. There was no such thing as silence. The noise never went away. The refinery exhaled an endless sigh. Still can't sleep without that sound. In your dreams, the towers were grand cathedrals, places of worship. The swamps hid behind mirrors like spies. The birds transformed into radiant spears and traced omens above the highway blight. You spent your adolescence sleepwalking between little devastating rituals. Though Blake pleaded, you decided to leave. I knew he'd get over it. He never did. You caught out on a greener to Chicago, and onward to the west coast. You never left Louisiana and thought you'd never return. You thought the ghosts of the lowlands wouldn't find you hiding along the road. The years carried you through overlit suburbs of the vast American limbo, across mountains, above cell towers. Thumbing down 99, you saw an old man crouched in a roadside ditch. He was mouthing your name. He had a familiar gaze. He was gone when you wiped the sleep from your eyes. You spoke to Blake, learning of your mother's declining health, her insomnia, her erratic behavior. You ignored the urgency in your brother's voice. By and by, you made your way east. You threw your phone into the Rio Grande. You joined the armies of the Mesa. For months, you were in the company of fugitives. You slept in nuclear tunnels, repairing engines and weaponry. Looks like we're in Albuquerque. War was a meme that set Albuquerque on fire. You escaped while the foot soldiers of a pop-up junta bloodied the parched land. While hiding in a berth of the freighter, I slept. You slept easily as the truck shuttled through the plains. You called home from a landline in a motel somewhere beyond Texas. You knew from Blake's hello that your mother was already dead. You hung up, shouldered your bag, returned to the highway. 5 years had passed. The ghosts were calling you back home. You awake from a delirious dream to find yourself in your childhood bedroom. Monkey watches you from the corner. Monkey, your best friend and a childhood gift. You conversed with him often when things got difficult, but then you left. He sat there for 5 years, collecting dust. 5 years, his eye filled with anger as he challenges you to return his gaze. Staring Contest Part 1, Glyphs. Glyphs will appear on the screen and flash in a specific sequence. Once the sequence is complete, you must select the gifts in the correct order to match Monkey's gaze. Okay. You successfully met Monkey's gaze with a cool assurance. However, his expression is unchanged. You stare more intently. Seems like it's just kind of a tutorial showing you the mechanics of each game. Circles will appear over Monkey's eyes. Outer ring will shrink to the perimeter of the circle. Click the circle when the outer ring locks into place. Anger melts from Monkey's face. You drape Monkey over your shoulder. Monkey stares back at you. You stare back at Monkey. He stares more intently. His gaze passes through you. You become invisible to him. Little circles of light pool in the doll's tired eyes as they watch the infinite space beyond your being. The air that hangs between your eyes and his is a vacuum of utter stillness. You look away. What is this? Oh, I see. Bedroom. I am not done exploring here yet. Sticker from grade school, half peeled from the window. Oh, this is just audio, or options menu. I mean, audio options are part of it. Among the books on the shelf are a pamphlet called Crisis LARPing. The proto-disaster tourism began almost as the floodwaters left. Punks from across the country ventured into the Ninth Ward, Gently, St. Bernard, and finally the East, or Gentilly. They curated a theatrical self-portrait of their lives in the ruins. The aesthetics of disaster were central to that emerging milieu. It began to percolate into popular culture. Collapse became the zeitgeist. Wise investors recuperated the experience of disaster. New Orleans became a plastic dystopia, a marketplace for crisis. You assume Million has been keeping the plants alive. Not sure who that is. Flyer from a show your friend put on a few weeks before you left town. Fight broke out while one of the opening bands played. I got whipped in the face with a bike chain. You still have a scar above your left eye. After the show, you and Blake shot fireworks from the roof of a hotel on Poydras Street. Sleepless and sober, the two of you walked back to Norco. You watched the sun climb over the grain elevators. Laptop, your Perrine gifted you idols in the shoddy particle board desk. Screen illuminates and you notice the signal in the house is dead. No internet. Looks like Blake was using the computer at some point. He left a browser tab open. View it. Just like the name sounds, full of lunatics. Jeez, there's a lot of stuff here. Place is a wasteland. Mods are still all SJWs. Quack job. Just like most things on the internet, it's a waste of time. Oh, this is the world map. Okay. Huh, I like the interface. Cool January air spills through the open window. The low sun washes over the neighborhood. A small flock of blackbirds dissolves into the tree line towards the lake. Commuter traffic glints along Apple Street as a pair of wrens weave out of the overgrown lot next door. A letter from Shield Oil sits atop the stack of mail. Dear neighbor, please be advised, there will be elevated flaring at the site of our number 5 stack near Good Hope on the evening of Thursday, March 19th. This will pose no health risk to residents. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact the Shield Norco Office of Community Engagement. Memories of sleepless twilight, still refinery hum in the red halogen half-darkness. Your mom sitting here staring through the window. There was tension in her demeanor on those nights, as if you were interrupting some urgent and obligatory task. You continued to the kitchen with no words exchanged. Those nights were rare. Many of them you simply don't remember. Pursue the titles on the bookshelf. The western margin of the lake. Many tragedies have come to pass along the western margin of Lake Pontchartrain. The unarmed hurricane of YW9D left the settlement of Frontier and La Branche in a state of unrecognizable destruction. Those who survived did so by clinging to their lives to the limbs of cypress trees. Clinging for their lives to the limbs of cypress trees. The fables and secrets of those communities lie with the bones now scattered in the sediment of the lake. Interesting world building. Holding Blake as a baby on the beach. It's winter. You stand beside them, bundled up and laughing as a gust of wind rattles the beach. Sky is bone white. Mind map. You. We're home again. Because your brother needs you. Because your mom died. who were traveling down the Pacific coast. Summer days arrived. You built a bike in the garage in Eureka and took it south. Generator shows on the beach. Interstate on ramps. Familiar smile on the face of the old man in the Central Valley ditch. The smile burned its image into your eyes. So this is just the backstory. Then what? Keep clicking the wrong thing. Younger Reckless gets in trouble, spends sleepless nights scrolling image boards. An edgelord, a shitlord, a sensitive soul, compassionate, foolish, can't take criticism, always needs money, tries to help those he loves, but often makes things worse. Insecure, dysmorphic, constantly checking his reflection, always seeking validation. Was terrified of leaving, and now he's terrified of dying. He needs to get over it. You're all the family he's got. Your grandma once said that she didn't expect much from Blake. She said he was short-tempered, oblivious, and couldn't focus. Blake was sitting in a chair across from her, staring down at a tablet. After she left the room, you asked him how he felt. I feel fine, he said. Why? Because of what Gran said, you responded. He looked confused. What'd she say? Your mom died. Cancer metastasized. It was in her liver, then her lungs, then it was in her brain. She was on chemo and never finished the third course. The hospice on Jefferson Highway. Blake said the traffic shook the building. He left before she drew her last breath. Alone with the morphine drip and rattling glass. That's how Catherine died. The smile of the man who crouched in the ditch on the highway has burned itself in your mind. I could go to the kitchen or to the front yard. Or the backyard, and there's also an attic. You're always frightened by the laundry room. Discovered so many dead cockroaches in the microwave over the years that this discouraged you from using it. For several months, a dead baby roach was stuck between clock's display and the protective screen, blocking the hour. Blake finally shook the microwave aggressively enough that the roach fell into the guts of the machine. There used to be much more clutter up here. You imagine your mom gave it away as the end approached. Well, nothing up here. Backyard. Oh, there's somebody out here. Motorcycle. Your mom's old 4-cylinder 35cc or 350cc bike had extensive rust and wear. Mom kept all her gear in a plastic container strapped behind the cab of the truck. Boots, waders, flashlights, tackle, first aid kit, etc. This truck was your grandfather's. You remember riding in his lap while he let you steer. The dead wasps collected behind the seat. The smell of grease, whiskey, and nicotine. You and Blake would drive the truck into New Orleans on the weekends. No AC, windows down. The rattling chassis was deafening going 75 on Interstate 10. Million has been slowly repairing the vehicle since your mom's death. I'm guessing that must be Million. What's this? Satellite? Crab net. Blue taught your mom how to make these, and your mom taught you. Summers you'd bike to suction before sunrise, tie chicken necks to the bottom ring of the net, submerge it, sit there nursing your coffee while the swamp raised its voice. Come home with a dozen or so crabs snapping and writhing in the burlap bag. You assume your mom hadn't been out on the water much this past year. Towers of the refinery wink in subtle and familiar rhythm. Million sits in her characteristic slouch, lost in thought. Her carapace has taken on the rusted and weather-worn quality of the rest of the machinery in the yard. You recall the night your mom showed up with her. You and Blake stayed up past dawn, poring over pirated API docs. Her ragdoll mask was slumped on the floor as you wrote the routing procedure. You wonder if such memories hide behind her constellation of eyes. The robot regards you casually. Key, you're awake. Or Kay, you're awake. Couldn't sleep. Catherine used to say the sound of the refinery helped pacify you. Perhaps it was no longer true. In any case, I was certain I was no help. Gestures toward the motorcycle at the edge of the carport. I was turning over the engine on the bike to test the coils. It was quite noisy, but now they're all in good shape now. All I need is a fuse, and we can use it to get around while I finish repairing the truck. I heard the phone ringing inside, but I had my hands full. Where can we get a fuse? The gas station just up the road has them, but you may have to persuade Troy to let you in. Were you expecting a call? Many people have been calling since Catherine died. Your brother is usually the one to answer the phone, but I don't know where he went off to. He's useless. I give Blake a hard time, but he did more to care for your mother during her final days than anyone else. It's been difficult for him. He deserves some time away from the house. Why would so many people be calling? Your mother left behind a lot of loose ends. From what little I know, I gather she was conducting research for a collector in Metairie. Since that many people would like to acquire that data, I'm unaware of where she has hidden it. Perhaps Blake knows its whereabouts. So who exactly would want to see the data? Your mother spent her entire life researching this town. She knew histories that others have forgotten. History has a lot of value in this place. So who is this collector? I haven't a clue. These aren't things she discussed with me. As the cancer spread, she became more guarded with her research. I took her knowledge for granted. Your mother had a lot to teach, but she wasn't always the easiest person to get along with. So anyway, that's all. That's front yard, kitchen. I didn't see a phone anywhere. Maybe it's in a different room. Photo album. Long pages of disposable photographs. Your grandfather, a peculiar look on his face, impossible to read. Your mom staring at Blake through obscure lighting. He's dressed as a vampire, tugging at someone's waist, pleated tacky shorts. A photo labeled Duck. Scene of a barbecue on the lakefront. The man at the center points playfully toward the camera. His face is obscured. You turn the page and there's blue. Your father never thought of him that way. Or your father, though you never thought of him that way. His skin stained by the sun, a canister of dip shoved into his front pocket, his easy smile, his knowing eyes. Set the book aside. Let's see. Old defective flat screen that your mom never bothered to bring to the curb. Turn on the television. Chaotic distortion of your mother's memories flash before you. Your mom fed the neighborhood strays and must be hungry since she passed. Grandfather's statue of the Virgin Mary sits in the shadows along the crawl space of the house. You observe the weathered concrete and flaking paint of the statue. Face is especially deteriorated, framed by a system of cracks. Run your hands along the deteriorating contours of the statue. Snaps off as if by design. Behind the statue's face hides an assemblage of electronics, carelessly soldered together. The center of the electronic configuration is what appears to be a card reader. Huh. I don't think I have a card. I have a monkey. Backyard. Sprawling Shield Industrial Complex. Long ago it was plantation land, cheap and abundant along the Mississippi River. The refinery grew in stages, slowly displacing surrounding neighborhoods. The chemical annex came online later. Children of the enslaved became the neighbors of this machine. Carbon and alloy and stainless steel, alien monoliths. Among the columns, a catalytic cracking unit sits hulking, smoking, seething. Webwork crosses high and low, over and under traffic and water and concrete, like veins, like gossamer, like neural circuitry. Everywhere, metal halide probing and riparian expanse. From the crowns of each tower, coded patterns of warm sodium, cold and human LEDs winking, thinking, knowing, saying something, speaking, burning eyes seeing, something to decipher in all that Norco light. I remember Blue. You only think you do. When he died, Part of her did too. It's the only thing to click on there. Let's check my mind map. I guess the green things are ones that have more. Your grandfather, Peter Pops Pierre Melancon, he passed away when you were a teenager. He seemed to court controversy, though as a child you never understood why. Blue is a vague memory. You don't remember Blue, only the things he left behind. Photographs, cologne, tools, the name that your mother kept. Even the pictures that have survived too are too faded to make out. Million was a security android. She guarded the perimeter of the aluminum refinery in Gramercy. One day she ran away. Why? You don't know. Whoops. To find her family? What? No. A fugitive. Once a fugitive, now just a relic. She spends hours in stasis beneath the house like any discarded thing would. Is there more here? It's conducting research. For who? For a collector in Metairie. An old friend of your mom's. Your memory of him is scattered and vague. Mom was conducting research for a collector in Metairie. That's all you know. Shield is an oil refinery. Shield Gulf South is a regional subsidiary of the transnational oil empire. It holds a large share of leases in the Gulf of Mexico and refines crude oil right here in Norco. The chemical annex sits on the other side of the town from the refinery. Produces the feedstock for plastic consumer product. Shield owns half the town. Isn't there somewhere else I could go? Backyard, inside, statue, street. Here we go. The turtle, he crawled out the trash can. Don't touch him, see? He's dirty. No, he's not. Turtles are always clean. They live in water. Trash water is not clean. We gotta go, see? Just let me stare a little longer. He's pretty. I can go to the tavern. Dimes discount. Padu private investigators. We snoop for you. You knock. No answer. Snowball stand is closed for the winter. Floodgate Tavern. Many shield workers gather here after their shift. It's closed. Should be open later in the evening. There's the gas station. A film crew is set up along River Road. Several floodlights illuminate a gruesome murder scene. Two men stand pensively above a corpse. As you near the set, a small, energetic man jumps from his chair. Attention, dumbass! Can't you see we're trying to shoot here? What are you filming? It's a detective drama called None of Your Damn Business. Got any questions? Sounds cool. So is this like a murder scene? Keep it up, it's gonna be. Hey, you know what? Wait a second. You from around here? Yeah. We could use some cultural expertise, you might say. We're filming a Bayou cop drama, and all these knuckleheads are from L.A. An actor from the set turns toward the director. I told you, Kevin. I'm from Texas. Oh, that's right, Noah. I forgot. Your Harvard-educated daddy bought a boutique ranch outside of Austin. Well, that don't make you a cowboy, Hoss. Now, hush up before you scare off the yokel. The director returns his attention to you with a mild look of disgust. Help us out, will you? Script needs some work. What do you say? Fine. Great. Hey, Noah, get over here so you can learn something from this stupid redneck. The actor smolders. He whispers under his breath, I'm a redneck. Fine, Noah, you're a redneck, a real salt of the earth kind of guy. But as luck would have it, we came across an even dumpier hayseed than you, okay? So just take a knee. Alright, anyway, we need some good slang. What do you call a villain? A bad apple? A lowlife? Crawfish devil? Crawfish devil? You nod solemnly. Wow, that's some spicy Louisiana shit right there. Did you get that, Noah? Write that shit down. Crawfish devil. Damn, that's good. That's sultry. Who says that? No one says that. No one at Juilliard says it, Noah, but we're down here in the muck. I've been hearing all kinds of people say it down here. It just slipped my mind. Great, that's settled. One more thing. What's a more regional way of saying to murder, to kill? Send him home with the roosters. Slather him with the oyster-flavored peanut butter. Oyster-flavored peanut butter. He maintained severe eye contact. Jesus, that's vile. That's repulsive. It's just this fucking place. I absolutely love it. Noah, yes. Slather him with the oyster-flavored peanut butter. Got it? Yeah. Well, I'm satisfied. The crawfish devil, slather up another poor bastard with the oyster-flavored peanut butter. Sends a shiver down my spine. I seriously have to repeat this. This is just how real people speak, Noah. It's how people talk outside the Silver Lake, you understand? Real people out here saying real gross shit all the time. Memorize that line, because that line is going to win me a Golden Globe. Oh, I'm pretty good at sourcing talent, aren't I? I always had a knack for it. Guess I owe you one. If you ever need anything, talk to Noah or someone else on the set. But don't bother me, I'm busy. I get lost. That's Hollywood for you. So many evenings spent watching traffic pass by this gas station. Little has changed. The neighboring business still sits abandoned. The surrounding streets are quiet and empty. Well, well, well. Look who's back. What happened? Carnival forget you beside the road? Who even brought your little doll? That's cute. Back because my mom died. You're not that stupid, are you? Catherine, she's too valuable. They'd never let her die. If anything, she's probably vacationing on a hard drive somewhere. You trolling me about my dead mom? Trolling? You so damn sensitive. Can't say nothing around you. Your mom was excavating or all along the rim of the lake. She used to pay me to help from time to time, matter of fact. Said she needed somebody smart, somebody vigilant, somebody like me, especially with S.H.I.E.L.D. snooping around. Seen some wild shit out there in the swamps with Catherine. I don't believe a word of it. I ain't asking you to believe nothing. And anyhow, this ain't story time. I'm not letting you sit in this gas station. Or not letting you in this gas station. Goddamn company that runs this dump did me dirty. They swamped me with an ATM machine for speaking truth. Ain't nobody through until I get an apology at the very least. That sucks. Don't patronize me with your weak pity. If you really want to get through, go get me some of them pills your brother was selling. That might persuade me. Fight. You're joking, right? Trying to get wrecked? Alright then. I hope that was easy. Now I can go in the gas station. Dusty bags of dog food line the shelf. Good evening, how may I help you? You own this place? I am Discountware, a distributed cloud-based operating system from American Discount Southeast Incorporated, semantic version number 16.3.3. The owner of this franchise is Perilous and Sons LLC. Discountware is licensed to Perilous and Sons LLC by a standard American Discount Southeast Incorporated licensing agreement. You know Troy, the guy outside? Thank you for your inquiry. I'm forwarding it to Perilous and Sons LLC. Perilous and Sons LLC has declined to respond to your inquiry. How do you like this job? Proudly perform the routine maintenance operations and procedures of 227 American Discount Southeast Incorporated franchise locations across the Southeast region. American Discount Southeast Incorporated is a model company awarded with for excellence in business and community service. Thank you for inquiring about American Discount Southeast Incorporated. So why'd Troy get fired? American Discount Southeast Incorporated prides itself on outstanding mentorship and job training programs. American Discount Southeast Incorporated works to ensure that each franchise location provides opportunities for career growth. At American Discount Southeast Incorporated franchise locations, we leverage automation and machine learning technologies to enhance the lives of all employees. To apply for a position at any American Discount Southeast Incorporated franchise location, please visit American Discount SE-ADSE today. Price scanner. Fuses, huh? Fuses hang on the shelf. Grab a fuse. I detect that you have merchandise in your possession. Please remove any unpurchased items from your backpack and scan them in order to exit the store. You scan the fuse. Thank you for your patronage. So that means I can leave now. And I got the fuse. Okay. Lone horse drinks from stagnant water pooled by the riverbank. This game's got a really cool style. Memorial languishes in the river mud, a 2x4 cross, plywood plaque, cairns of pulverized concrete. Buried haphazardly in the plywood is a remembrance. Here passed the brave freedom fighters of January XW11, whose cries of liberty echo through the generations. In much smaller lettering, a different hand-scratched fake across the bottom of the plaque. Stupid horse. Man's gaze stays fixed on the opposite bank of the river, never turning to you nor the horse. Can't stand that horse. A lot stupid in this world. Stupid people, stupid horses. I'm a little stupid myself. Then go get you a river drink. He spits on the dirt at his feet. You know what they all dump in that water? Hell of a cocktail. He spits again, wiping a string of mucus onto his sleeves. What you out here for anyhow? Ain't you heard they got a criminal on the loose? Bringing law around here and making things harder for the rest of us. Best be sharp, young one. Got the fuse, good. We'll be able to use the bike to get around town until I'm done with the truck. Concerns me that Blake still hasn't returned. He's spending a lot of time at Sarpy Paperbacks lately. Perhaps you should look for him there. Where this dog came from, bruh? I don't know. She's been singing for a while. You seen her eyes? Them eyes are something, bruh. Stocky pit bull with piercing green eyes watches the horizon with a neutral demeanor. As you reach down to pet the dog, she shows her teeth and growls softly. I wonder how anyone can read in this dim and cluttered bookshop. As your eyes adjust, you see Blake's childhood friend Erica waiting behind the counter to greet you. Kay? And Million, when'd you get back into town? I've been in Norco for quite some time. Perhaps you were misremembering, Erica. Weird, I guess so. But anyhow, Kay, you're looking rugged these days. How, old friend? That's an intense scar above your eye. Got it before I left town. And the minute you return, you're right back in the mix, huh? Word on the street is you cleaned Troy's clock. That guy, my God, he's such a clown. Glad he finally got the little taste of what he deserves. Just doing my part for the community. Definitely. But enough about that troll. I was keeping up with your travels online, but I haven't seen you post in a while. I haven't been online much. I've been avoiding my phone as well. Helps that the connection has been so erratic. Been hearing of people chopping down cell towers, tearing fiber cables out of the ground, trying to rip the internet apart. She nods into the ensuing silence. Back because of your mom, huh? Sort of. I know it wasn't always easy between you two. I was around for some of the arguments. Blake would say she was a great person, but a terrible mom. I just hope you and your brother can find some comfort. Means a lot, thank you. Of course, I lost my dad a while back, also to cancer. He was a mean bastard, picked up my sister and threw her one time, giving her a concussion. Couldn't wait for him to die, and when he did, I danced. But as the years passed, I find myself thinking about him more. Feels good to hear stories about him. It's always complicated with this shit, never easy. Worry about your brother, your mom's illness was taking a toll on him. I watched him slip back into the bad behaviors. You seen Blake lately? Yeah, I saw him just yesterday. He hasn't been around the house? He has not. He said he was heading to Floodgate Tavern when I saw him. He may have gotten wasted. I don't know. No, Kupka's let him sleep behind the bar a couple times. Do you know you were coming, Kay? He never mentioned it. Figured he tried to avoid me. Oh yeah, he can be like that sometimes. I've had to be delicate with him recently. If I ask how he's doing, he goes quiet. If I offer to help, he doesn't return my texts. It's a front. He wants help. Sure, but I can only try so hard. If I hear from him, I'll tell him to find you. Oh wow, Crouton usually bites strangers. He must like you. What is the one thing? Oop, he scratched me. Don't be a vampire. Good Hope Cemetery easement. Where am I supposed to go now? He's obviously not here. I do hope Erica is correct and that Blake's absence is due to nothing more than another drunken night. My intuition leaves me with the sense that something is wrong. Do you feel it too, Kay? Does something feel strange to you? What brings you here tonight? I want a record for my children. I don't want to leave my kids alone. They may still need me. I understand. You were referred by Mr. Richard? Duck, that's what everyone calls him. Yes, Duck, we followed that branch with some interest. Who hasn't? I gather we'll be discussing this in more detail as things progress. For now, let us begin with a simple exercise. I'd like to talk about your earliest memory. It's of pine trees, right? That's right. Tell me about them. They grew from the concrete and cracked the driveway, and the concrete broke into pieces. They made your father upset. He'd see them and frown, but he'd remain silent. He'd sit quietly in the truck, dissatisfied, wouldn't say a word. Speaking in those moments made you a fool in his mind. Your father's house was suffocating. Couldn't wait to get out. That's why you married Blue. Yes, to have somewhere to go. We bought our little place on Good Hope Street. The whole thing was a mistake. When I told him I didn't love him, it was in my father's voice. I told him I never loved any man. Was it true? Yes. That was a difficult night for you. It didn't feel real. Why? The sky was an inversion of some other sky. The sky, it was corrupted, misplaced. It wasn't a Norco sky. Where was Blue? He sat at the window all night. The east-facing window? Yes, when you stood over him to apologize, you saw the flare stack of the refinery in his eyes. I never apologized. How was it after that, and what in the time before he died? We circled each other in wide orbits. I'd hide at the center of the house nursing Kay and only leave when I heard him step out. He'd sleep on the couch or next to her crib. He'd sing her old Cajun lullabies, pet her head, whisper to her about his life. Then there was the explosion. When the cat cracker blew, they say he fell 5 stories. We went to identify his body on a Thursday night. I remember the tempo of the streetlights. The police scattered across the East Bank. I carried Kay in a blanket. She never cried. We were quiet, she and I. Tell me about this man. I would see him from time to time around Norco. This was many years back. Several weeks ago, Blake saw someone passing by the house. I think it was him. Why? I just do. The robot is no longer there to deter him. Million? Yes, that could be it. What was your first encounter with Million? Let me think. She came to me in the parking lot. Kay was about 12 years old at the time. She knew Blue from his days at the aluminum refinery. I stared for a long time into her constellation of eyes. They swirled in a kind of desperation. I took her home, knowing it was another mistake. You were reckless in those days. I was seeking any trouble I could find. What's the significance of this image to you? Well, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. It's a sphere. It followed me into the lake. When, recently, a few weeks ago, this is where Mr. Richards' branch factors into your biography. Duck's version escaped. A hard fork, an extremely rare instance, and grew into some kind of a monster. It began speaking to me through the radio, told me to install an app. An app? Yes. I think it had something to do with the thing, the sphere, whatever it is. But it's so long ago that as it pays, I don't care. I can use the money. The app pays? Yes, I see. Seems to be the last control point that you submitted. Would you like to include any additional thoughts or memories? Anything not included in the intake form? No, that should be enough. I will now begin disconnecting the sensors. A slight feeling of nausea and disorientation is normal and no cause for alarm. I thank you for your patience, Miss Madier. I can't go anywhere. Got a phone. Hoot hoot. Ma'am, are you okay? My eyes are just playing tricks on me, I guess. Vertigo and visual distortion are common side effects of a visioning session. Shall I contact our on-call physician? No, it's fine. Very well. Last name? It's Madier. First name, Catherine. One moment. Your head drive is fully synced, and have chosen our silver tier. Your product does not come pre-installed with adware blocking services and is provided as is without warranty. You are eligible for free sync any time before the new year. Thank you for choosing the Greater New Orleans Neural Visioning Clinic for your cognitive visioning needs. No idea what Super Duck wants from me. Better check my phone. Quack job. That was the advertisement. It says here I need to go to the Curious Duck. Well, I think I'm gonna quit here. I might continue it on tomorrow, or maybe have the first part be this and then do something else. So anyway, we'll see. So thanks for joining me, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.